This episode begins roughly 3 years after the previous. We can see that Alicent Hightower and King Viserys have not only already been married, but have a son, Aegon II, and another child on the way. This, predictably, has shifted the entire Targaryen familial dynamic. Rhaenyra has been neglected over the past 3 years, pretty much left up to her own devices, and her resentment toward her former friend Alicent and her father has been left to brew. Now 17, the episode does a good job of conveying her adjusted age and growing bitterness without recasting just yet. With the presence of Aegon II, a male son to King Viserys, the Lords of the Realm have begun to form the expectation that Rhaenyra's heirship be shifted over to him. One of the lords who clearly believes this is Jason Lannister, ancestor to the Lannisters featured so prominently in Game of Thrones. In a not-so-subtle ploy for her marriage, he accidentally slips that he is fully expecting Rhaenyra's heirship to be removed, naturally infuriating her. While later in the episode, Viserys ensures Rhaenyra that her heirship is not going to change, he does sow some doubts when in private with Alicent, bringing to recollection the prophecy he foresaw in episode 1. Otto, wanting his grandson to be king, pushes Alicent to help persuade Viserys in that direction. Under the pressure of his family splintering and the expectation of an heir shift, King Viserys is clearly starting to crumble. Drinking heavily and prone to outbursts, this is not the same kind of jovial man we saw 3 years prior. This shift is further symbolized with the use of stags on the hunt this episode is centered around. A white stag seems to symbolize worthiness and rightfulness as a king. Viserys' hunting party, however, is only able to capture a brown stag, and even that, when restrained by his men, gives Viserys trouble killing. Rhaenyra, on the other hand, runs into a white stag without even trying, symbolizing that she is the one most fit to rule, despite the Westerosi patriarchal tradition pushing her down. In addition to the expectation that her heirship be shifted over to baby Aegon II, there is also the expectation that she must marry. Lionel Strong, a member of Viserys' small council, also gives the king the strong recommendation that she marry Laenor, Corlys Velaryon's son. This would mend the damage caused 3 years prior by Viserys marrying Alicent Hightower instead of Corlys' daughter Laena. Viserys, however, allows Rhaenyra to choose her future husband for herself. Despite his neglect over the past 3 years, he clearly still loves his daughter and cares about her happiness. The only man we've seen Rhaenyra show any potential interest in, however, is her personal guard, Criston Cole. After running away from the camp in rage, Criston follows her, and the two proceed to spend the night together bonding. Rhaenyra is clearly so abandoned and alone in this new familial dynamic, and this really is the only friendship she still has. However, if you recall, members of the Kingsguard are not allowed to marry, let alone to the royalty they swear to protect. Shifting away from King's Landing and the surrounding woods, let's talk about the War in the Stepstones. In the beginning of the episode, we see that despite Daemon's dragon power, the Velaryons are losing the war due to the guerrilla warfare tactics of the Triarchy forces. King Viserys, despite not being involved in the war directly in the 3 years up to this point, decides to finally intervene and send aid to his brother. This infuriates Daemon, as the whole reason he is there fighting in the first place was to prove himself to his brother. The enraged Daemon decides he needs to end this war for himself, before the aid from King Viserys has time to arrive. Committing the war crime of false surrender, he makes a one-man attempt at defeating the Crab Feeder and his forces. With the aid of Laenor Velaryon and Dragonback, Daemon is able to track down the Crab Feeder and defeat him. If you remember, Laenor being the son of both Corlys Velaryon and Rhaena Targaryen, he has the blood of old Valyrian in his genetics from both ends, making him capable of bonding with and riding a dragon. I found Daemon's rapid defeat of the Crab Feeder to be a bit anticlimactic. While we didn't get much backstory for the Crab Feeder in the book, I was hoping that the show would remedy that and give us a more complex look at the character. Instead, he is taken out just as quickly as he was introduced, giving us little to no detail on his character other than his grayscale-induced insanity. Despite that bit of anticlimax, I found this to be another incredibly solid episode. Though my least favorite of the 3 we've got so far, it was still nearly perfectly acted and written. The tension brewing in the royal family is so thick you can cut it with a knife. As so many expect King Viserys to shift the heirhood to his new son Aegon II, and Rhaenyra and Daemon's anger toward their family grows, this tension is bound to get even stronger. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content of this nature, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You can also ring the notification bell to be updated whenever I upload a new video. If you'd like to check out my fiction writing as well as my vlog channel, visit my website withkoji.com/AtGurrenHime. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next week for episode 4.